Welcome to another episode of The Latest with Maya. Today, I am beyond excited to have a conversation with actor Kyle Howard. Kyle has been in many things, including the shows My Boys, Your Family or Mine, the movie Upside Down Magic, and so much more. Kyle also had a recurring role in one of my all-time favorite shows, Royal Pains. Um, Most recently, you can see Kyle in the role of Phil in the Apple TV show Me, which is so good. Thank you so much for being on my show.
Thank you so much for having me on your show, Maya. So happy to be here.
So let's get started. So, who has had the biggest impact on you professionally?
Whoa, we're just starting with the big questions, huh?
Yeah.
That's an excellent question.
Thank
Um,
you.
Man, I feel like it would be hard to choose just one person. I feel like in general, I've been so lucky to work with really incredible people since I was a kid. I've been at this for I think exactly 30 years now. And I think from my very first job, I've just been really lucky to have nice, kind of wholesome Hollywood experiences. I was lucky enough to never have any of those sort of like true Hollywood story nightmare
Yeah.
moments. Like with other actors I worked with directors, producers, I just have always been so lucky and been surrounded by wonderful people. Just to choose one, I guess, that comes to mind off the top of my head, I think you mentioned My Boys. And that was really such a wonderful experience, top to bottom. We got to do the show on and off for like 5 years, and it was just an incredible group of people. And the woman that created the show is named Betsy Thomas, and I feel like she really is the perfect example of somebody that is in a leadership position and really sets the tone for everyone else on the set. And she was just such a wonderful inspiration, creatively and personally, that it just really trickled down to everybody else on the set. And it became just like a happy, healthy, wonderful work environment. And so, like I said, I think I've been super lucky to have a lot of experiences just like that.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Who has had the biggest impact on you personally?
Um, Man, that's tough too. I feel like again, so many different experiences come to mind, and not just even in a work environment, but I moved to LA at a very young age. I came out here when I was 16 and started working, and I I kind of left behind a life and my friends from school and everything in Colorado, and I had to meet new people out here. And I feel like that's always a little bit of a roll of the dice. You never know who you're gonna interact with and who you're gonna get close with. And again, I feel like I was just incredibly lucky to meet some really wonderful people. I made friends with people through work, actually. One of my friends, I did a movie with him when I was 17 years old, and we became best friends, and we're best friends to this day. And most of my other friends are friends that I know through him, and just really the best kind of people, and people that I've at this point been friends with for 30 years. So I think collectively that group of friends is has been the biggest inspiration to me and had the most impact on me just as a person, and I have friends that I look up to and I want to live like they do. And it's been great.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. If you had a warning label, what would yours say?
Um, you mean a warning label like about the industry or
No, just about you.
just about me?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Um, I would say I would probably say my warning label would be to all of the hairdressers in the entertainment industry because I am incredibly particular about my hair and notorious about not letting anyone touch my hair on set. And I know that it drives hairdressers crazy. And I just applaud all of them for their patience when having to work with me. In most ways, I'm a pretty agreeable guy on set. In that way, I know that my particularness is a nightmare for people.
Um, so what genre of movie would your life story be told as?
Gosh, I hope that it would be a heartfelt comedy. I just feel like I try to um, live a life that I take just seriously enough. Sometimes that's hard for me. I can get a little bit too serious sometimes and always have to remind myself that nothing has to be just that heavy. So yeah, I feel like I aspire to lead the life of a heartfelt comedy.
Oh, I love that. I watched that movie.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Um, so what small things bring you joy on a daily basis?
Outside of work, you mean?
Yeah.
I really like to surf and I really like to play golf.
Oh, cool.
Those are my two favorites. And then um, just traveling overall is a big passion of mine. I've always been super into traveling to like faraway places. During COVID, when all of that shut down, I sold my car and I bought a camper van so that I could keep traveling and so that I could come to Colorado and see my family. And it turned into a whole new experience for me being able to kind of explore the United States, which I had never really done. I've always like concentrated on flying other places far away. So for the last few years, I've done a lot of exploring in our country, and it's been magical.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. I love that. What is your favorite way to procrastinate?
Oh goodness. I'm really good at procrastinating. Um, Surfing is definitely one of them. It's like one of those things that even when I'm not doing it, it's always a bit of a distraction. Either I'll like want to go outside and check to see if the waves are good, or if I'm busy at work and just on my computer, sometimes I'll make the mistake of looking at the cameras that are at the beach and checking this. Even though I know I can't go, like I'm across town and I'm at work and it's not possible, I'll still, for some reason, torture myself with checking the conditions and seeing if it's any good.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always admired people who can surf because like I don't know, I think it's such a cool thing to just watch. And
Yeah, it is so fun
I
to watch.
yeah, I know I could never do that because I have horrible balance. So I
Is
always
that right?
admire people who can do that and not fall off.
Sure.
Um,
I think for me it was like kind of a natural transition because since I grew up in Colorado and grew up snowboarding, when I came to California, I was just kind of naturally drawn to that and always wanted to learn. Um, and so now I do a lot more of that than I do snowboarding.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Um, so I am pop culture obsessed and I go in stages of shows that I cannot stop watching.
Okay.
Is there a show that you are currently obsessed with?
Um, Gosh. The latest thing that I watched was Baby Reindeer. I got really into that. It
Yeah,
was dark and twisted and wild, but I
yeah,
just really also thought that it was beautifully done and really well acted and directed, and I was kind of really inspired by it.
yeah. Yeah, that show was yeah, so good and so hard to watch at the same time. And
Yeah,
it's one of those like you couldn't look away. It's just
totally.
so well done.
Yeah, it was a really interesting mix of like you couldn't look away and also felt super uncomfortable
Yeah,
watching it at moments.
yeah.
Um, I feel like the one that I had before that was, and I'm so excited for it to come back, was White Orchid. Like that one to me was a slightly lighter, kind of guilty pleasure version of a binge-worthy TV show.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, I just finished binge watching your new show, Me. I watched that in like 2 days.
You've seen
It,
every episode?
yeah.
Oh wow, you're ahead of me. I've still only seen three of them.
Yeah,
I need
I
to
did
catch up.
not want it to end, but
Is
like
that
I
right?
couldn't stop watching it. So,
Oh, that's great to hear. Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch the rest of them. We all got together last week, the night before it premiered, and we watched the first three episodes at Apple, and it was really nice. We all hadn't seen each other in a long time, and it was really cool to see it on like a nice screen with really good sound.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been fun. But then I had a super busy weekend and haven't been able to see any more of the episodes. So
Hmm.
this week I'm gonna catch up on the rest of them.
Yeah, it's yeah, I there were certain lines that I just remember. I watched it with my mom because she wanted to see it too, so we watched it together and there were
Sweet.
certain lines of like yours that we were like crying, we were laughing so hard.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice to hear.
Yeah.
Have you had anyone else from the show on, or are you talking to anyone else from me?
Yeah, I'm trying. I
Okay.
haven't yet.
Okay,
Yeah. But
cool. Well, I hope you do.
thank
They're
you.
all really wonderful.
Yeah, everybody in it is just so good.
I was blown away by the kids, man. River and Abby in particular, just I was so impressed because, watching the show, you see they're on almost every page of the script and they were working so many hours and working so hard. And I was just beyond impressed by, I mean, their professionalism in the moment for sure, but then just their talent and the way that they come across in the finished product is wild. They're such talented kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they were so good. I I and then I don't want to say his name wrong. Cherie Atkins.
Sharif, yeah.
Sharif, yeah. I'm sorry. I was like, I don't want to pronounce his name incorrectly.
No, totally.
Yeah. He White Collar is one of my favorite shows.
Oh,
And
right.
so it was yeah, so cool to also see him in the show and
Totally. Yeah, he's such a talented guy too. I mean, the kids and the adults that they assembled for that cast, I just was so pleased with. Everyone was so talented and such a joy to work with. It was a really nice experience.
yeah. Oh, cool. I love
And
that.
you said you love Royal Pains too?
Yes.
I saw on your highlight reel, I saw Paulo and Ben Shankman.
Yeah.
Have you interviewed anyone else from that show?
I just recently interviewed Mark.
You did. Oh, Mark
Yeah,
is the very best. He's a
yeah, that
great
was
dude.
so cool.
That's really funny. I need to text Mark because I just remembered in this conversation that he was in my dream last night. He
Oh,
he had a new mountain bike that he was trying to get me to try. It was the strangest, most random dream. I'm gonna have to text him when we get off and let him know that I had a mountain bike
yeah.
about him.
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
How random.
yeah. Um, so what is something that people are always surprised to learn about you?
Hmm. Uh, that's a really good question. Um, It might. Oh gosh, I'm really selling myself out here. It might in some ways relate to what I said about being very particular about my hair. I'm very like I'm kind of a neat freak and I'm very particular about like where things go and everything being put away and I'm constantly getting rid of stuff. Like I hate acquiring too many things. So I'm always like cleaning out my closet and getting rid of clothes and just kind of purging physical things in my house and in my life. So I think that is an interesting thing for people to learn about me because I don't know if I necessarily give that like OCD vibe, but I definitely am very particular about things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I can be very particular about things too. But my family is always surprised. Like, I am not good at organization, yet I am like, so I don't know. I have like a good fear of germs, and so, but I'm not organized at all.
I share that one with you as well. In fact, I remember when COVID started, I remember being like, oh, this is actually like, for me personally, a bit of a relief because I don't have to feel so crazy being the germaphobe anymore because everybody became a germaphobe at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I remember my family and I during COVID, we were joking that we have been training for this, so we were
Exactly.
ready.
Yes. I so relate. I felt exactly the same way.
Yeah. Um, so is there someone who, without fail, always makes you laugh?
Um, yeah, there are several people. Um, Actually, one of them that just came to mind is my buddy Andrew, who his name's Andrew Lenchuski. He actually created Royal Pains. And he, without fail, absolutely can always say something that will make me laugh. However inappropriate it might be, he can always get me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah, yeah, my mom and my sister can usually always get me to laugh. And usually my mom always jokes that it's usually my sister and I are laughing at her. Um,
as opposed to with her.
yeah.
Right.
But we're like, well, it's a bit of both.
Right.
So, yeah,
It doesn't have to just be one or the other.
yeah, exactly.
That's funny. Is your sister younger or
Yeah.
older?
No, we're twins.
Oh, you are. Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. But she's 3 minutes older. I feel like I always have to say that.
Sure. Somebody
Yeah.
has to be first.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Uh, yeah. Um, so do you have any irrational fears?
Uh, I used to. I think I've gotten over it at this point, but I used to be so terrified of tornadoes
Mm,
and like to an obsessive degree. You know,
mm,
I lived in Colorado when I was a kid, which is not, there have been tornadoes in Colorado, but it's not like Tornado Alley. It's not a regular occurrence. But one time when I want to say I was 9 or 10, my sister went to summer camp in Greeley, actually, and they had a tornado while she was there. I don't think it ever even touched down, but it was like a funnel cloud and it happened right by the camp. And she had pictures of it from camp. And I heard about it and saw the pictures, and it scared me so bad that from that point on, I became obsessed with dark clouds and stormy conditions anytime it would happen. And you know, from living in Colorado, that
yeah,
happens in the summer, like almost every afternoon.
yeah,
And I would turn on the news and wait for tornado warnings to pop up, and I would be ready to go to the basement. And I was so, so, so scared.
yeah,
Weirdly, at a certain age, it totally shifted from being afraid of tornadoes to being like very fascinated by them. And for a while, I was even researching, you can go on these storm chasing trips, like as a tourist you can join storm chasing crews and go out and look for tornadoes and like try to get close to them. Uh, and for some reason, that's where I'm at with it now, where I'm like, I want to see a tornado in real life. I want to be close to a tornado. But as a kid, I was so terrified, and it was so irrational because tornadoes just didn't really happen where I lived.
yeah. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. There was last summer I was somewhere with my family, and there were, yeah, it was like a really bad storm outside, and we were right by our house, so we decided to leave where we were, and then we the tornado sirens started going off, so
Oh,
we were
really?
like, yeah, we were like, maybe we should have just stayed. But then I remember we got home and we were all like, we were sitting just in our mom's closet with
Yeah,
our dog was in there with us, and we were just sitting in there waiting for the sirens to stop.
sure.
It was just, I don't know, that just stuff just like, it just freaks me out.
It's spooky. So
Yeah.
did that tornado ever touch down or cause any
Um,
damage?
no, I don't think, I think there was a tornado in another part of Denver, but never in, yeah, it never actually happened where we were.
Okay, good.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've always heard if you don't have a basement to do the closet or the
Yeah.
bathroom. I've also heard the bathroom is safe.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have a basement, but we have like a closet on downstairs. And my mom was, I remember we were sitting in her closet and she was like, I think we should be downstairs. And,
Oh, you mean you were in the upstairs closet?
yeah. Yeah. She was just like, I think we should be downstairs.
Right. Oh, that's funny.
So, yeah.
Well, you guys survived.
Yes.
You lived to tell about
Yes.
it.
Yeah. So luckily that made us laugh while we were sitting in her
Sure.
closet.
Good.
But yes, we survived.
A good laugh during a tornado warning
Yes.
is always what we want to strive for.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Um, so what is the best song to describe your life right now?
Oh my goodness, Maya, you have really hard questions. I should have asked for a list of these ahead of time so I could have given better answers. The best song to describe my life right now. Um, Gosh, I don't even know if I know. Can I email you later and tell
Yes.
you?
Yeah,
I can't
definitely.
think of a good one. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
I also am terrible, by the way, with song titles.
Hmm.
Like even my favorite bands and my favorite artists, I know their songs, I know their music, I know the words to their songs, but
Yeah.
almost none of them do I know the title to the song. It's a weird thing I have in my brain that just doesn't quite, for some reason, it doesn't retain song titles. So I'm going to use that as my excuse for not having a
Okay.
good answer for you.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good excuse.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so I just have one more question for you.
I
I
hope I know the answer to it.
love, yeah. If not, that's okay. You can
Okay.
email me again.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
This will just end up being like a interview that people read as opposed to watch. You'll just put
Yeah.
a screenshot of our emails up.
Yes. Yeah. I'll
Perfect.
just cut to black.
Okay.
Um, so I love inspiring and motivational quotes. And this week, the one that spoke to me is fall in love with your life, wake up early, buy your favorite coffee, go for walks, eat good food, wear what makes you feel confident, and listen to your favorite music. Purposefully create these small moments that make you fall in love with your life. Is there a quotation that has inspired you lately?
Wow, that was really beautiful. I love that one. Um, Really good question. I don't know if I could come up with a direct quote off the top of my head, but um I feel like in things that I've read recently, a sort of general idea on the subject of compassion has been sort of a recurring theme for me in things that I've read, and just the idea of um, sort of being able to see a piece of yourself in other people and being able at the same time to see a piece of other people in yourself. I feel like, especially in the time that we live in and how divided our country seems to be at times, it's just for me like a really good exercise to remind myself to do that, especially if I'm bothered by something that somebody else is doing, or if I'm not getting along with somebody. I try to, in my own head, stop and see a piece of them in me and see a piece of me in them and feel like, even if on this one subject we're like on totally separate pages, we are both still imperfect humans at the end of the day, and we share that in common. So again, it's not a direct quote, but that idea is something that for me, I try to really think about every day.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Um, yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, me too. I'll try to, again, I'll email you.
Okay.
I'll try to find a more eloquent and truncated version of that in quote form, to because I feel like I gave like a 90-second version of the quote that could be probably said in about 5 seconds. Um, but that idea anyway.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Yeah, well, that was my final question for you. And I want to say again, thank you so much for um, joining me today. It has just been so wonderful talking with you, and it's truly a dream come true. I've been wanting to interview you and trying to interview you for several years. So thank you.
Oh, Maya, I had no idea. If I knew, we should have done this far, far before now, but thank you for that. That's so nice. And I'm so honored to do it and so impressed by your career and all of, I mean, your like reel of the people that you've interviewed and the questions that you've asked. You just have such incredible questions for everyone that just inspires such wonderful conversation. I'm really inspired by it. So thank you.
Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you so much.
And thank you for being so supportive and watching my show that I haven't even watched yet.
Of
I,
course.
I really got to catch up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then I'd love to know what you think of the show.
Okay, cool. I will let you know.
Yeah.
Are you on, I'm sure you're on many different social media platforms. Are you on
Yeah,
Instagram?
I am. Yeah.
Okay, I'll find you there.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just the latest with Maya.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Yeah, and yeah, I so appreciate your taking the time to join me today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Same, Maya. Thanks so much.
Thank
Have a
you.
great rest of your day and a great rest of the summer.
You too.
Okay, great
Thank
talking with
you.
you.
You too.
Okay, take
Bye.
care.
You
Bye.
too. Thank you. And that's a wrap on today's edition of The Latest with Maya.